All right, so our next topic here is some news dropped about Matt Reeves and the upcoming Batman movie, and I guess trilogy at this point, planned trilogy, is potentially going to be including the Joker. Um, so initially, I do have to say that this is kind of a no-brainer to some degree because it is a Batman movie and Batman trilogy, is planned trilogy, assuming everything does well. So like, kinda well, duh. Like, at some point, like, I guess, you know, they would include the Joker at some point, considering he is, DC's most beloved villain and arguably the most popular comic book villain altogether. But the article is suggesting that I'm getting this from comingsoon.net, and this initial article is suggesting that they're going to be teasing the Joker to some capacity in the first film, the upcoming Batman film with Riddler and Penguin in it. To where then, in the second and third installments of this trilogy, would then feature the Joker in a much more predominant way. So, in the end, Rick, what do you think about that part? If that's true in any way, I mean, because it's kind of obvious that the Joker would probably be involved. So, I mean, let me know your thoughts on if you do think the Joker will be included at some point, and what do you think about that kind of plan where they're gonna maybe tease him, kinda like at the end of Batman Begins, where they set him up with the
Yeah,
card,
yeah.
you know, and then he's in the second one, right?
Mhm.
So what do you think about them doing maybe something like that, setting him up in the first one? Probably not. It does say too that there's no casting or anything that's been done for this new Joker. So like I really do doubt we're gonna visually see him, but maybe just like his presence will be known in some capacity in Gotham. Um, so what do you think about that kind of setup?
I personally love the Joker. I loved Heath Ledger's Joker. And it's like to me, it's a no-brainer. Why would you not? Like you said, he's basically DC's most beloved villain. And if you're making a Batman trilogy, especially, I mean, he's got to make an appearance at some point. So, um, at this point, really, it's just like you said, there hasn't been any casting done or anything like that. And I think it's great that they've been including him. Hopefully, they do. But it's really at this point just seeing like who's gonna play him. What's the demeanor gonna be like? Gonna look like? I mean, there's a lot of questions that are kind of come up with that sort of.
Right, and that is one thing I'm kind of curious about too, because with all the Jokers have been different,
Yeah,
right?
very
And
different.
like some obviously like more than others, but like I'm interested to know what kind of take we won't really know until we see more on the kind of the tone of the Robert Pattinson Batman.
Yeah.
What I'm curious to see, and I don't know if we'll ever really know it just by based off just that movie, but seeing some more about it and seeing how the Penguin and Riddler are in the movie, that might give us some sort of idea of what kind of tone they could be going with a Joker.
The
Um,
Penguin's gonna be a strange addition, I feel like, but I'm sure they've got some too.
I've
And
always thought that like if they made Penguin more of just like the mob boss, and
yeah,
kind of
like a nickname.
yeah, kind of character, as opposed to like Batman Returns, the Keaton one with Danny DeVito, like that was a very on the nose, like this dude's a penguin man. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I
literally, like
mean?
he
Like
is a penguin
he
man.
he had he had like thin hands,
Oh
like
yeah,
it was
that was a little strange, but
yeah, like I don't know, they took that one a little bit far in my opinion, but
yeah.
that movie's fine, but like it is what it is. But I am curious though, like what they're gonna do with. I mean, tonally, what would you like to see out of the Joker? Because I mean, arguably Heath Ledger's is the best on screen one we've had. But
Oh yeah.
I
No, I
mean,
like Jared Leto's better.
did you,
No, no,
did
God.
well? Here's the thing, dude. Jared Leto gets a lot of flack for that, and like, truthfully speaking, I liked his Joker. Like, it
He
was
was intense.
it was fine in like the context of the world they set up there. You know what? I didn't like the tattoos.
No,
Like, I could have done without the tattoos.
it was like they
Like,
were trying to like modernize him and make him cool.
right, and they could do that, but I just felt like the tattoos weren't really fitting to, like, even the character he was playing, like, the character of that Joker, I still didn't really buy into him having tattoos.
Yeah, like he went out and got
Like
all those.
it just didn't make too much sense to me, and, like, I didn't like the ta like,
Like
not
he's
just I
thinking to
didn't like
himself,
him. Yeah, well, it's not like I just didn't like him with tattoos. I didn't like the tattoos he had.
Oh, no.
Like, you know what I mean?
And I
Like,
mean, you think to yourself, like, does the Joker, like, he's just sitting in his, like, hideout one day and he's like, "You know what?
yeah,
You know what I need?
yeah,
Face
yeah. Like
tattoos.
he's got time for this shit.
I need
Like
face
he had to
tattoos."
go sit down somewhere and get that done. And like the Joker being the kind of person
And
he
he
is,
tipped.
and even the Jared Leto Joker, the way he was portrayed, I don't see him wanting to like sit down for hours and get all these tattoos done.
I don't either. Like I said, I
Right.
hope he tipped, but, he probably just killed the
Yeah.
person afterwards.
Right. I don't know, like, and, like, I didn't like the one where he had, like, the smile on his hand. To
That
me,
was
like, I was
dumb.
just like, "That's cheesy as shit." Like,
Yeah.
that's super cheesy.
Yeah,
Like,
that was dumb.
don't do that. Like, but I did like the interactions that he had, like, with Harley and,
Yeah.
there was I remember the scene in Suicide Squad where he's, like, interrogating some dude, I forget, I've only watched Suicide Squad once,
Yeah.
because it was fine. It was whatever. But there's that scene he had in there where he, like the dude was, like, tied to a chair or something, and, like, I remember and, like, he comes in to interrogate this dude, and I remember it was unsettling. Like, 'cause I was just thinking, like, if this dude was doing that to me, like,
Yeah.
I'd be in a very uncomfortable position.
Oh,
Like,
for sure.
you know what I mean? Like, just the way he was acting and, like 'cause I
Yeah.
think he, like, got on, like, top of him and was all, like, up in his face being weird, and, like, I thought all that was good, like, the way they did that and, like, the interaction he had with Harley was good, the biggest problem was just how that movie used him,
Yeah.
like, because even David Ayer came out uh, since the release of that years later, obviously, but he said, like, yeah, like, if he could go back and kinda remake Suicide Squad some capacity, he would've completely, like, redid the 3rd act and, like, pretty much, I guess, the rest of the movie and just made Joker the central villain and, driving plot of the movie to some
Yeah.
capacity, which would have been way better than dancing the whatever her name at the end where
Cara Delevingne?
yeah, like,
Yeah.
it would have been much better than that. So,
That was a
w
little straight.
yeah, and I mean, with Joaquin Phoenix's Joker now, and then which was great
Yeah.
because,
That was
I
good.
mean, now it's, like, hard to even say because I guess as far as what the better best Joker interpretation we got would be, it's kinda hard to it's hard to compare all of them. I
Yeah.
guess it's not hard, but
They're also different.
yeah, it's not fair to, because if you took Heath Ledger's Joker and put him in the Joaquin Phoenix movie, it doesn't work. Like, that's not the same thing.
No.
It wouldn't work, like, they are completely
Vice
different
versa.
characters. They're not written they're both playing the Joker,
Yeah.
but they are completely different. Like, the way they're written, they're not the same. The same with Jack Nicholson's Joker being put in The Dark Knight.
Wouldn't
Nah,
work.
it wouldn't work at all.
No.
And, like, so it's just so I am curious, just, like, I'd like to see some more about, just the kinda tone that they're going for with these movies 'cause it's exciting. I'm glad we're gonna see another Joker. I'm probably more excited to see a Joker in the Batman trilogy than I am to see a sequel to Joaquin's Joker because it was
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
done so well, and
I don't really know how they'd make a sequel.
right, and, like, I mean, since it made over $1 billion, they're obviously looking at making a sequel now
Oh,
at
yeah.
this point, and which I can't blame them.
No.
Like, it makes sense, just hopefully if they do go through with that, they have a good story to tell. That's
Now,
about it.
my question for you, though, is, and this is the big question here, and
Yeah.
maybe people can, comment below and tell us what they think, but who would you have play the Joker? I mean, it's hard to say because the Batman's not even out yet. But, like, if you had to who would be, like, your choice?
It's hard because without knowing what they're going for,
Like, the tone, like you
without even
said.
knowing the tone
Yeah.
of the movie, like the one that's coming out now, without even knowing it, because like, what if we watch this movie and the Riddler is, like, just as spooky as Heath Ledger's Joker?
Yeah. I mean, he could be.
Because if he's like that, like, if the Riddler comes out and is, like, that kind of a presence, then the Joker would have to be a much more foreboding presence.
Oh, yeah, because you'd want that to almost overshadow
Yeah,
the
like,
rest.
he'd have to be.
Yeah.
So, which in that at that point too, you have to consider like, okay, so Paul Dano, who's a just an incredible actor playing the Riddler, they'd have to get someone as good as Paul Dano
Yeah.
to like be able to pull something off to top whatever sort of Riddler performance they're going for. So, I mean, in the end, without knowing how they're writing the character, it's incredibly hard to say because even like keeping with Heath Ledger's Joker, when he was cast as Joker, how many fanboys cried?
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, the guy from 10 Things I Hate About You, like, what the
Playing
hell?
the Joker?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like, well,
like
and it's like, there you go. Like, it comes out, and it was
it was fantastic.
unanimously, yeah, the best one.
I remember you and I freaking out over that back in 2008 when that came out, just
Yeah,
like how cool that was.
yeah, I was like super so. Heath Ledger is my favorite actor to this day. Like, I still like very upset that he passed because I was
Mhm.
really looking forward to like
I remember we
more
were at
Heath Ledger
work
stuff.
when we were younger, we were work together, and your aunt had called you and
Time.
told you about it, and we were
Mhm.
just like, the
Dude,
movie
it
wasn't
sucked.
even out yet.
Yeah, it sucked. It was when we were dishwashers. I
Yeah.
remember it was a fun time.
Back when we were like 16,
Yeah,
something like that.
getting paid less than minimum wage to watch a bunch of dishes in a restaurant.
That
Peel
was
potatoes. Yeah.
that was a blast.
Mm,
Don't have to name the
potato.
restaurant.
Yeah, I'm not naming the restaurant, but that dude, as crappy as that job was, that news was far worse.
Yeah.
So it was just like you're sitting here in the middle of doing this crappy shift, and then all of a sudden, oh hey, by the way, Heath Ledger he died. Like, oh, that just made my day worse. But
The one
okay,
redeeming factor about that job, and we can shut up about it after this, is the food. Oh my god.
dude, it was great food.
It was
And
so
we got
good.
that every day we worked.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess I don't know if that justifies getting paid less than minimum wage, but
Oh, the job was horrible.
and yeah, and the amount of work we had to do, like, yeah. But the food was good.
Yeah.
Mm, yeah, food was really good.
Totally off topic, but
Yeah, but what, as far as, like, an actor I would like to see I mean, do you have any actor you would like to see just take on the role of the Joker? Oh, I got one. I got one that might actually be kind of interesting. And it's people have been talking about this and wanting this forever at this point. But, Willem Dafoe.
that
And I
would be
say
good.
that not because of all the fan art that was like, "Look,
Yeah.
he's just got the face. He just looks like the Joker, so let's cast him." No.
Yeah.
I say that because 1, Willem Dafoe is an incredible actor, and
Oh, definitely.
2, with Robert Pattinson now being Batman, they just did Lighthouse together.
Yeah.
So they have rapport already, at least as far as actors
Good
go.
dynamic.
Yeah, they have good on-screen presence. They both can crush that movie. Like, the movie, like, you don't have to like it. It was a weird story and everything. And I know a lot of people that were just, like, kinda turned off by it, but no one can deny their performances within that movie. So, I think that would be kind of interesting and a good, I don't know, like, a reunite those 2 together, and since they do have that rapport,
Yeah.
I could see that, and then obviously all the fanboys who've been doing, all the fan
The
art.
cheesy fan art,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, which it does look good. I'm not saying it doesn't look good by any means, but, he does have the face to play the Joker,
He
and
does.
and then he was, Harry, what's his name? The Osborn,
Norman
and then
Osborn.
yeah, Norman Osborn, and he was Joker. 2 titular villains in 2 different franchises. The 2 best DC hero as Batman and the best, uh, Marvel hero as Spider-Man. He was their villain in 2 of the installment. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
That'd be a good thing to have on your resume at least. At least in my opinion, but
Oh, definitely.
that's really the only thing that comes to mind that would kinda be interesting. Like, do you
He's
got
getting a
you
little
got
older.
he is a little older, and that's one thing that people are saying. I'm like, because everyone was saying that, Joaquin should just be the Joker in this trilogy, right?
Why?
And everyone's saying that it won't work because he's too old. Like, his Joker's too old, like, now, and blah, blah, and, like,
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne was, like, 8 or 10 in the Joaquin's Joker movie. But I do have some things about that because that movie was set in the '80s.
Yeah.
And so if presumably speaking, it's been rumored that, the Batman movie is gonna be taking place in, like, the '90s or something. Um, so if they did that, then, yeah, the ages probably wouldn't line up right because he
Yeah.
unless I mean, I don't know. It still could actually line up right.
I guess it
No, it
could, yeah.
would line up right because I forget what year exactly it was, but I remember in the Joker, you were able to narrow down exactly what year it was because there was a movie, I think it was a Zorro movie or something, was playing at one of the theaters in the
Uh,
film. So you were able to correlate exactly what year in the '80s it did come out. I don't remember what it was, but the fact that if this Batman movie actually does take place in the '90s, and if the Joker movie came out in the '80s, like, at the earlier years,
yeah.
if dude was, let's say 10 years old. If little kid Bruce was 10 years old in 1983, and then the Batman movie comes out in 1999, that'll be another 16 years on Bruce.
Yeah.
So he would then be 26 years old.
Yeah. Which that would work.
So it would work to some capacity, because then 16 years on to Joaquin doesn't put him in a wheelchair.
No, gosh, no.
You know what I mean? So, like, that actually could work. So
Yeah.
I just remember thinking about that because everyone was saying, like, he'd be too old, it wouldn't line up. But it's like, if the year it takes place is in the 90s, like it's been rumored, then it actually would still line up.
Yeah.
Like, you could make it work, because like 10 years on somebody, plus it's the movies, if they could just forego everything if they want. People come
Oh,
back from
yeah.
the dead in these superhero movies all the time. But if you really wanted to nitpick, you could make the age work and have him be the Joker in it. I don't think they should. Let me clarify. I think the Joker.
Yeah.
I think Joaquin's Joker should be its own thing. But I don't know. Who do you got on it though? If you could pick one person.
I was pondering that while you were talking about it, and I thought about it a little bit before. I don't know. People have said everything from Johnny Depp, which I don't know that
I
would
don't
be
like
good.
that. He's a great actor, but like I feel with a lot of people, it's like does their persona or does who they are kind of overshadow the role
I
sometimes?
feel like if it was Johnny Depp, we'd have like Captain Jack Sparrow, the Joker.
That's the
Right.
biggest problem I see with Johnny, and like, not because he has not done that sometimes, and like in the movie Black Mask,
Yeah.
that was like that's like the only movie he's done in the last 10 years, I feel like, where he wasn't playing some version of Jack Sparrow.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Like,
basically his character.
yeah, like ever since Jack Sparrow, he's just kind of been Jack Sparrow.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. Like I said, maybe people can comment though below and tell us what they think.
yeah, let
Um,
us know.
if you got an opinion on who you think should play the Joker, but I don't have anybody off the tip of my tongue that I can just throw at you.
No, me either.
It's hard to say. There's so many variables.
No, and yeah, like it's impossible to say too. Like I said, without us knowing how the character is being written.
Yeah.
Like, how are we supposed to know that? And that's the one problem, like, that I've always had with people doing like fan castings for like stuff, because like you don't know how the character's written.
Those
Like,
fan castings are all opinions too. I
Yeah.
mean, everybody's got a different opinion.
Yeah, and
So,
9 times out of 10, people do it just because, like, well, he looks like him though.
yeah.
Like he looks like the dude from the comics, so he should play
Who
him.
cares?
And it's like, yeah, that doesn't mean anything though, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
What about the person as an actor? Like,
yeah, like it's if they look like them and they're a great actor, then cool. But at the same time, if you don't know how the character is being written, it might not be right for that person.
no.
Like, and that just goes back to like Jared Leto's performance as the Joker. If that's how he would perceive the Joker, granted, if he would have got the script for Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight, maybe he would have played the Joker differently.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. A lot of it does come down to writing.
yeah, because it is all writing. It's
Yeah.
all writing. That's how the actor is going to interpret how to do the performance, and then like they're going to get the script, they're going to work up how they would imagine the character would be to do the audition, and then they'll talk to whoever, the
Yeah.
director or whatever, casting director, tell them if they like it or not. But in the end, even during their audition process, the way they want the character to actually be portrayed could be completely different.
Oh yeah.
So like it's just impossible to say. Like that's just why I never really like doing fan castings. Other than for some, like I did say last week with Chris Pine as Hal Jordan, that still
Yeah.
stands.
That would have been good.
That still stands, and I stand by that, and I will defend that because he would have been perfect for that role. Damn
Oh
it.
yeah.
He would have been perfect. So
Wonder Woman, man. Messed it
yeah,
all up.
I know. Unless off topic, but unless they say he's like his son or something. He's Steve Trevor's son, and like he goes by a different name now or something. I don't know. I want it to happen, man.
Yeah.
I want it to happen. It's never gonna happen, but I'd love it to happen.
It'd be cool if it did.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm looking forward to it regardless. There's not a whole lot of news coming out really right now about it. They are going to be ramping up filming soon again of the Batman though. So I mean, maybe in the upcoming weeks and months we'll actually get some more footage and
Yeah.
some more information out
I'm
about
excited
it.
to see a trailer just
Yeah.
to see what it's about.
That would be nice. I don't know if they've done enough film. It's definitely too early to put a trailer out, but I'd like to just see. I'm good with just more images, like
Yeah.
just some more stuff to come out. Just any sort
I
of
mean,
news to come out.
seeing that picture of the Batmobile itself kind of almost was like, what? Like, they throw out these images, these promo images, and like everything like that. And
Like
it's
that.
just, yeah, and it's not what you would necessarily expect. I mean, it looks cool.
It
The
does look
engine's
cool.
huge. But to me, it still looks kind of like a muscle car versus like a Batmobile.
I think that's really kind of like obviously what they were going for, though.
Yeah, it looks like an old like 70s.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like a hot rod. That's the
There
best way to
was
put it.
this too. Let me pull this. See if I can pull this
I'm
up
trying to
real
see what
quick.
kind of it looks like. There's like two V8s in the back of that.
It's intense.
Yeah,
That's for
I can't
sure.
really tell from that picture, but it
There
looks
was
like
this.
two V8s next to each other.
I had this. I found this picture the other day. Like this seems like a. Why are you not centering there? I wherever I found this, it said it was like an official image, but it still looks like concept art to some capacity.
It looks like that picture they released of the like the head at least.
The
Like
what?
the head looks like it looks like the same picture that they
Oh yeah, the
originally
same
released from the
angle.
suit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why I don't know how much I can believe this too much of
it
being
looks good.
official, but like yeah, this was like apparently what the final costume would look like. So,
Huh.
which I mean, if it ends up looking like this, because I mean, we were talking before, like the little arrow things on his arm or whatever,
Yeah, he's got
like
like
looks kind
straight
of weird.
gauntlets
Yeah,
there.
like this is gauntlets, and then his chest plate isn't the same. Like it looks different. It looks slightly different than
Yeah, it looks
our
more
previous
armored.
image. Yeah,
Yeah.
everything just looks a lot more like seamless. And he's got like a. It's a weird though because utility belt, which makes me think this might be just completely fake, is that utility belt. The center part of it looks too reminiscent of Christian Bale's,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then this has the regular like ammo pouches like his regular belt does, or like even the Pattinson belt did before.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I did like this though. So if this was real, then I'd be completely okay with that being the final look of
It's
the
an
Pattinson
interesting,
suit.
yeah,
But
interesting look.
yeah. All right. So the question is, guys, what are your thoughts on the Joker being added to the Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson Batman trilogy? Trilogy rather? Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think they should maybe hold off because maybe there's been too much Joker stuff? You want to separate it out, or do you think if the reports are true and it is going to be maybe just included in the second and third film, is that a good way to go about it, or should they just not have Joker at all? Let me know in the comment section below.